Okay, so once again, good evening to everyone who is who have been partaking in this training from the very first day. And I want to say you are all very strong and good leaders, which we are going to make out of this training, because this is a very important training. So let's dive down to what we had. Yesterday, we checked on the introduction and some definitions, and we discussed on how we can download the data from USGS portal. And then we have these tasks, which we have to do today, which is how to download water quality data from Environment Agency UK portal. And remember, we did a walkthrough on how to analyze or format and to filter data from USGS portal. We saw that in the last part of our session yesterday. And today we are going to start with this, but we need to understand the parameters of this portal, Environmental Agency and UK portal. Okay, so I'm going to start sharing slides. So let's go very fast. We talked about all of this yesterday, and we talked about this. And so today we are going to start with the UK portal, UK Water Quality Portal. So now to access this UK Water Quality Portal, we need to use this link, and then we need to understand how it is different from the USGS portal. So the first thing we need to know is that the same procedure, or rather the data set which is found in the USGS portal, which was uploaded by some laboratories or some agents or some field workers, are similar to those data which we are going to see in the UK portal. And this is a very clear idea, which will help us to understand what is going on. But remember, these are two different locations in two different continents. And so in this website for the UK portal, the data format is in CSV. As you can see, it's in CSV, which is different from that of the US. And we are going to see a lot of couple of things which are not really the same. Yeah, but some parameters are similar, as we're going to see. Like, for example, we are going to discover also E. coli, and then we see other parameters, which will be dealing with this more detailedly in the analysis part of this data. That is the session which we are going to do tomorrow, and produce our final interpretations using graphs and whatsoever format we want to choose, statistics. So the advantage of this site also provides us with some kind of specific regional information or community, and maybe a specific and a particular water source information, which you can download very easily. And not only to download, but you can visualize the map and you see how it's going to look like. So for our practice, we are going to be considering the following. So we are going to be considering this area, West Thames, and then we have the county, which is Harbury Park Gravel BH. That is just the short form, because it's actually long, but I just use this. And the source type is groundwater, and then we have a borehole. So this is, you're going to see when I open the portal, and then we are going to dive into the analysis. You'll see how we're going to select this, and then we go back to the website, and then you're going to see this particular location, Harbury, where we get our data from, and you discover that it's groundwater, and the type of groundwater source, which is borehole, is indicated. It's a particular borehole data which we are getting from UK. And the parameters, we also include all of these parameters. So let's move forward to the next slide. So this is how the portal looks like. As you can see, it is going to open up if you click the link, as I shared in the former slide. And we are going to see the download link button. And if you click this link, you are going to get national and provincial area data. That is what you're going to get if you click this link, which means you are going to open up just like you want to download a data, for example, for the whole of Boya, you get, or for the whole of Cameroon, that is water quality data, or maybe for the whole of Nigeria, or for just a particular state like Enugu, or maybe, you know, Abia State. That is how, if you click it, it's going to give you that option to download. And then here we have understand. This is just how to understand the data system, but it's more about the PHP system and functions of this portal. That is not more important for what we are going to do, just to understand the data, but it's not really clear. And also, we have this tab called Explore, which means that we are going to be downloading specific county data, or maybe a particular borehole data, which is specific. For example, if we have a case like in Cameroon, a particular house code borehole, or maybe spring, it just depends on what you want to get. You just go to the location, you have the coordinates, and you will see how you appear, and then you can get just that particular borehole or spring water, not for the whole maybe region, and not for the whole country or national data. So that is how it's going to look like. And then we have the next slide. So once you click the first slide, because we are going to be using that download, that's the first option which we need in the previous slide. This download, this is what we need. And then we click, it's going to take us here, and then you see the area, all of England. So if you want to download all of England, and for the year, you see, we have different years from 19, I think from, 1999, and right up to 2003, just depends on the data. We are going to see that. And then we have all of England. You can select what particular sites you want. You click on this, click on that. And then the purpose. And we see both compliance and monitoring. So compliance means that we are having tests from laboratories and other field data, you get? And then monitoring means that these are on-site monitoring devices which monitor water parameters. Like I explained, also we have that kind of function with USGS portal, where we had to select everything, because we know that some particular parts have just monitoring, but we never needed that part. We just needed field and lab data as we selected. So for this, we are going to select everything, because the data set here is not really that cumbersome, or maybe too much. So we go to the next. So if we click on the other link, this link, Explore, we are going to get this page, which comes out with sample point name or ID. So we're going to be selecting the criteria, what you want, but here we are not going to put anything. Here we are going to select the area, which is West Thames, and then we are going to have here sampling point type. We are going to choose groundwater, and then we are going to make sure that it's left open, because which means that these are functional groundwater systems which are actually running, like they are open, they are being used for consumption, human consumption or animal consumption, and whatever use purpose is being taken at this point. So we are going to click that, and then we leave the maximum number of results to be 500, and then we click on find sample. This is what we need, but we are not going to do this. It's just except we want to visualize our area, like I said, West Thames, or we are going to choose inside this particular area, West Thames, we are going to be looking at finding sample points, and then we are going to see the Howberry Park Gravel BH. we will see that when we get to the portal. So that's that. And then you see, when we click that, you see I've checked this is Horbury Park VH, you see, and I've located this area using the functions in the website. So it's not really that difficult. You'll see that. Okay, so the Excel walkthrough for this exercise is that we are going to get first, once we download the data, remember I told us that we are going to get the data from the main download section, not explore section, which means that we're going to download all of West Thames data. That is the region, the whole region or province, let me say so, like the whole region, small area or community. We download that, and then we are able to manipulate the data in Excel to remove what we want. And so the first step is import the data using the data tab in the Excel and select import from text, just like the step we did yesterday. And then you choose the text file and select delimited tab, comma. Remember, comma was not selected in the other part yesterday, and I explained that. And then you click finish. Then you delete other irrelevant data. And then you insert a new column. Then cut and paste the sample points, easting and northern. Filter and choose Horbury Park Gravel BH under the sample point dot level. Locate E. coli parameter using the find function Control F. Select one or two data sets which has recorded E. coli values. After then find that, so you're going to highlight the yellow like we did yesterday. And then you copy the whole data table and paste in a new sheet. Delete other irrelevant data and then copy and paste determinant label, determinant, comma, determinant dot definitions, and then result in a new sheet. Now the data will be ready for further analysis based on the objective of the work, like we also see. So we are not yet done. This is just to make our data beautiful. So we'll be able to now analyze and give what we want. What is our objective? We are going to see all of this tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit of also a lecture on what is our prime objective of this analysis, what type of parameter we really need to see in the data, and then we get into the clean data which we have adjusted beautifully, then we start producing analysis. So let's start, I think so now, and we go to the portal, and then we can see. Let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, so hope you can see my screen. Can you see the portal? Yes. Okay, great. So this is the portal. So when you click that link, you'll be able to see this portal. You see Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, and then Environment Agency, Water Quality Archives, and then you get now the Water Quality Data Archives. Then this is what you see. You see, download. So if I click here, I'm going to click here, download. And yeah. Okay, you see what I showed before. So we have all of England. We don't want all of England. We want this particular area, West Thames. And then we want just data for the year 2023, like 2023. And then we leave this as both compliance and monitoring. And then we say download dataset. And then it's going to open up here. You say dataset download. Your dataset file is ready. So this is the file. Remember, I said it's in CSV. So you see .csv, which is telling you the file type. So we are going to click download. You see, it has downloaded. So now we want to check on our Excel. We want to check on our Excel. So let's check on the Excel. now and open our Excel, I think. Okay. So you can see the Excel pan, I think, for this. And then we have here data and then data from text. We go to downloads. Probably since this is already a good file, we are just going to click down without choosing this option like we did yesterday. So you're just going to see download. So this is the file we downloaded, WT 2023. And you click and then click import. You see, you leave this as that. And then you go to the next. You have tab selected. What you're going to add with this tab selected, we can't leave it like that because yesterday is a different file format. So we are going to click comma. It's going to separate everything to make the data in order. Yeah, I should have it each to be separated in columns. So we click next and then we click finish. You see what happens. Okay. You see? So now the data has been separated into different columns.
Mr. Kule, please.
Yes. Hello?
Yeah, please do that again. I didn't get what the process again clearly. Can you repeat the process you did before?
Okay, so it's just because of
When you were
time.
selecting the page type.
Because of time, you're going to watch that in the video. So let's move forward and we will see that in the video if you have time. Yeah, let's go because some more time. So this is the data, and then we are going to delete the irrelevant parts of the data. So we are going to click this, and then this is not needed because it's just about the website links, and we click delete. And then so we move to the next section, which we don't want, and I'm going to explain what we have as final data. So we see sample point dot easting, sample points, sampling points dot northings. So we need to copy this or cut, yeah, and then we paste in front of here. But before that, we need to include in a new cell, and then we come here, and then we are going to cut it, cut, and then come here and paste. Okay, it shows that we have some issues. Okay, so rather still, let's copy. Okay, and then paste. So it's okay like that, and then we are going to delete this. Delete. So we don't need that. But now, this is where the trick is. We will need this maybe if you want to build a map for this area, but it's not necessary sometimes. So we won't really work on this as per se. So what we need here is the value where we have sampling point dot level. So we need to filter this particular column and get in our location of interest, which is Harbury Park Gravel. So how are we going to do? We are going to click here and then we click filter, and then we are going to have this button which comes down. So you click it, and then you just need to type here. Since there are a lot of data like locations we can find, you see, it's very many locations, you see, but we can't be searching like that. So we just search direct from here. If I just click how, you see it comes out, and we are going to untick it, and then we find this is the Horbury Park Gravel BH. We click and then we press OK. It has filtered just this particular location we want for our analysis. So then we have here what I need to explain. So we have here information which gives us groundwater. You see, because we have filtered it, it gives us this information. But if because this particular Howberry Park gravel, it's mostly the groundwater which I told you about, and it is a borehole. Remember, so that is why we are seeing here groundwater. But in a general sense, if I go to the portal, I will show you how, if we get to the portal, we are going to see that this groundwater is borehole. But let's do what we have to do now, and I'm going to show you that later. So we have some different tabs according to our columns, and we need to understand. So we have determinant level, which just means like the parameter level. And we have here sample date time, means that this is the date. So remember, we took just data for 2023, and we have here, this is first, which is January, and then 24th of January 2023. This is what it means. And the time was 10:31, which this data was sampled and the time. So, and then we have determinant definition, that is parameter definition. So we have boron as B, which is boron, you get. So this is how it appears, so you don't get confused. And then we have here results, which is our main point of interest for analysis when we start doing that. And then we have here determinant units level, which are the units of the test. So each of these parameters has a result, which has a unit, like we all know, milligram per liter, microgram per liter. So we are going to be doing this conversion to know more about what we need tomorrow, and each parameter, what is the unit of measurement. I think if you know about the course we did last year, you understand about this conversion between milligram per liter and then microgram per liter. So we won't be touching that now. So what we need now is to click Control F, and then we want to type same like yesterday, and then we click on Find Next. You see what appears? It gives you that there is E. coli in this particular borehole, which is a groundwater in this area. So what we did, we click here, and then we are going to go on Home, and then we highlight. Great. And let's look at the value. You see, the E. coli value is 1, which shows that there's contamination, fecal contamination. That's already clear for us for this analysis and for this particular area. So we are good to go now. So then what do we need to do next? We need to select what we must need to follow up our analysis. Now, how do we do that? We just need to select just 2 data sets. It's going to be very easy, 3 data columns, sorry. So we don't need all of this because we already know the location. We don't need eastings and northings because we don't want to produce a map for now, because we can still do a map, but I don't think there'll be time display unless you guys want to explore more. So we need just the results, the column for the results, and then we need this column definition and this column. This is what we need. So then how do we do? So we will copy this. I'm going to copy this and then go to the next sheet like this. And then I paste. You see how it's pasted? It's not really good, so you extend it like that. And like this. So it's more convenient. And then we go back and we need to select results and copy and paste. See? So now this is what we have as our final data set, which we are going to be computing our analysis. It's just so easy. And you need to understand that this is more easier than what we did with the data for USGS water. So you see there are no gaps, but that of the data for USGS, we had a lot of gaps which we needed to do some functions. But mind you, tomorrow we are going to be doing a lot of analysis function to be able to understand what is going on in this particular water source in UK and that in US, which is a very, very important session tomorrow. So we don't need to miss that session. That is the key point. And we are going to do interpretation after doing all of those analysis. So what we need to do now, for the sake of telling you or showing you the reason why I made mention of that this particular location, which is groundwater, it's a borehole. So I'm going to share my screen and we are going to check that together. And you'll see this particular location, which is Hawaberry Park Gravel, and you see that it's groundwater, and you're going to see that it's borehole. Let's go and let me show you. It's going to be very straightforward. Okay, so I share my screen again. Okay, so let's go back to verify the particular source type to know if it's a borehole. So I'm going to click on this section, which is explore, and then when I click explore, you're going to see something opens up. You see the map of UK. The whole of UK is here. It's England, yeah. And then the area, I'm going to click here and select West Thames. And then I'm going to click on sampling group, and then I'm going to click on groundwater. And then I leave this as open, and then leave this as 500 maximum, get 500. And then I'm going to click on find sampling points. Okay. And you see what happens to this map. You see, these are various sampling points in this particular location, West Thames. And then we are going to see matching sampling points locations. So these are the various locations which we could see, rather click and see what happens, whether it's also groundwater, but you see what we have here: composite, groundwater borehole, groundwater borehole. So this is where you see if it's borehole or not. But we are interested in getting to know about our location, which is Hawaberry Park, and then gravel, Hawaberry Park gravel. So you see some other ones here have unspecified. Okay, so now let's try to go. I think we are going to find that in H. So we are just going to click here and we go to C. We need the letter H. We need the letter H. Okay, this is H. So under where we have here, I think 11. Yeah, H11. Yeah, in this website, according to the way we are clicking, we are going to find Hawaberry. And this is Harley. And then Harley. So this is Hawaberry Park. And you see borehole. Yeah. So let me say, okay, 10. There's 11. No. So this is it. Hawaberry Park Gravel, BH. This is where we are working. So it's showing here under this particular page here. So we need to find it because there are many sampling points here, different water sources for groundwater in this particular location where we selected here, this location. So we need to view the sampling points and see what is happening. But already we have already discovered that the water source we are working on is groundwater, but what type? We have here borehole, like I showed you. So the analysis we have in our, the data set we have in our Excel is displaying a borehole water quality test that was conducted. And we have the different parameters which we have indicated E. coli in this particular borehole in Horbury Park Gravel pH. So now it's clear now for you to understand that this is really good research for any person who wants to understand what is going on. Already we have understood that this groundwater here is contaminated first with fecal contaminant because it has one. And normally, according to the standards of WHO, it's supposed to be 0, no fecal contamination. So this borehole has 1 count per 100 mils. It needs to be 0 per 100 mils. So it's already showing that is 1, which means that it is contaminated. According to the test result from the data set we downloaded for this location we selected. So this is just how analysis it is going to look like. And more detailed analysis will be produced with graphs based on the comparisons and the different way we want to visualize, and then we'll be able to interpret what is going on. I think that is that, and it's very important for us to know. And if there are any questions, you can as well ask me now. And if you need help, let me know. I think Mr. Isidore told me he maybe wants to understand about what I did. So, Mr. Isidore, please, can you ask your question again? Probably, I may.
Yeah, good evening to everyone.
Yeah, even.
I had a problem when you wanted to select the pages to send it in Excel. I was lost in that part.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let me do something again. Okay, so I'm going to open a new Excel sheet. Okay, I'm going to share something now. Don't save. So okay, yeah, just give me some minutes. Workbook. Okay. Yeah, can you see the Excel section? Can you see it, Mr. Isidore, please?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so you click
Yes, I can
here,
see it. I can see it.
you click here data, you see, data, data. And then you click here from text.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yes, when you click data, you click here from text. You click, it opens up. Then you go to download. And then
Okay.
you're going to check in your download folder where the data was stored. And this is the data we downloaded.
Okay.
So you click the data and then click on import. And it's going to show up in this window. And we have here delimited. We leave it like that. And then we go to next. And we have tab selected. And then we have to tick this box, comma, so that it's separated. It separates the data into different columns. So it should be in order. That is just the procedure. You click next and then you click finish. And then you click OK. And it's going to generate your data. So this is what happens. And every data is now in real, is now very organized for further formatting and adjustments which we'll need. So that's just what we just did, and we deleted the cells or the columns which we don't need, and then we now extracted that which we need, and then we paste it in a new sheet. And I just did that and explained. So it's just like that. So tomorrow we'll be doing more in-depth analysis and correlation. You have to be very, very fast and maybe sharp, and be also online tomorrow, so we can really analyze all of this together. We have 2 analyses to do. We have sites in US, we have sites in UK. We have to do the analysis between these sites and that of UK tomorrow. So we gave our conclusion on what type of water source and effects on the community. We have some little discussion about the interpretation. We are going to go deep into the geography, go into the population, and all of this is strategic analysis to tell about the effect that is going to be, for example, for those living in that neighborhood. This is our research as leaders in the system and what we want to be trained to become. Yeah, so this is just all about what we are going to be doing in the training. So as for now, I'm going to stop recording.